Anu Grant Putnam here, just met you at your house. Just want to go over a few maintenance items with you. So like I said, this past year they haven't really been putting any mulch down, or they underbid you, and they mentioned you needed a lot less mulch than you really need. I noticed they did put mulch along the street. So again, they probably estimated a certain amount of mulch, but in reality it was not nearly enough to cover all the beds. So this is one area where there's obviously some existing mulch along this rock area. Okay, then there's obviously mulch on either side of the fence. And you've got the mulch for the front of the house, the center of the driveway, wrapping around this ledge. Around this ledge, I'm only quoting you for mulching roughly, 8 to 12 foot wide bed, not the top center area. The top center area has absolutely no mulch. It actually has moss growing. So just to be on the same wavelength, make sure I'm clearly communicating with you. I'm talking about all the existing mulch areas. Okay. Then obviously it runs all the way through here, underneath these hemlock trees. There is no mulch underneath these hemlock trees along the road, so I won't include it because it's far from the house. But right now it's all moss growing underneath these trees, about 200 feet of trees, and there was no mulch. I'm assuming, I don't think you need it. If I owned the house, I wouldn't recommend it. I would mulch the new trees after you install them. So after you install new trees, I would put mulch around those. Then you got a little mulch area here. And again, there's no mulch up top here. So it's all the existing mulch areas. That's what I'm looking at. Outside of that, for the front of the house, the plantings could use some help. Number one, all the boxwood are way too close to the house. Those boxwoods are only about a quarter of the size is what they're going to grow into. So if you leave them where they are now, they're going to go right into the house. You're going to have mold issues. You're not going to be able to maintain them or trim them. My suggestion is to rework all the plantings in the front of the house, because this is really your curb appeal spot where when first people pull into the house, if you want it to look really nice, then you should do it right the first time versus put a band-aid on it and just add plants for plants that don't look good. The problem with just trying to add plants is they're not going to look the same size. So for example, you have boxwood here, and what happens when you try to add boxwoods here? They're not going to look the same for about 3 years, because there is no boxwood that you can buy from a grower that's already in a hedge like this. They're going to be little balls like that. So my suggestion is, which I think is a much better idea, save and transplant all of the plants that are in good shape here. So you have 5 hydrangea, got a bunch of deciduous plants, 5 more quality boxwood over here. This hedge of boxwood I would save. The 3 rhododendrons you could transplant to a different area of the property because they're going to grow way too big for this area over time. And then redesign this area. So there would be a small design fee, but you'll get a much superior product that's easier to maintain, and you're not going to just be constantly fixing something or throwing a band-aid in here. I think you really want to be able to get a quality product in the front of the house, because this is the most visible part of the property, and this is going to sell your house when you want to sell your house 5 or 10 years from now.